On Sunday 9th of June 2024, Sydney Trains' K-sets K95 and K88 operated historic electric traction's Silver to the Summit tour from Strathfield to Mount Victoria. The K-sets were used in place of S28, and in running this tour became the first passenger carrying K-sets to leave the Sydney Suburban area for some time, and the first ones ever to travel beyond Springwood. In this film, we see the two members of the last in-service class of Suburban Silvers at Leura, Blackheath and Mount Victoria, plus the history of the K-sets and a few other trains along the way, beginning here at Katoomba. The name Katoomba is an anglicised version of Katoomba or Katoomba, Aboriginal Australian words meaning water falling over hill or shining tumbling water, referencing the Jamison Valley waterfall at the south end of the town. When the railway station opened on 2nd of February 1874, it was named Crushers after a nearby quarry. The area had also been known as William's Chimney and Collett's Swamp, but the name of both the town and the railway station officially became Katoomba on 9th of July 1877. And that was how it stayed.
Two of the most boringest cases.
The 44-car K-sets were built by A. Gonanan & Co. for the State Rail Authority in the early 1980s, the first entering service in 1981 and the last in 1985. This makes them the oldest trains in the Sydney Trains fleet and the only suburban silvers left in revenue operation, following the withdrawal of the C-sets and S-sets in 2021 and 2019 respectively. The fleet was based on the S-sets, of which Gonanans had also built a fair few, and were originally delivered as R-sets, as can be seen here. Originally, they weren't air-conditioned. When this was retrofitted from 1986 to 1990, presumably around the time they were reclassified to K-sets, the pantograph was shifted from the power car to the adjacent trailer. Many original combinations of power car and pantograph trailer remain today. The final order of trains were fitted with aircon from new. The R-set classification would later be used for 6-carriage S-sets before falling out of use in the early 2010s, but has been revived for the new regional fleet. Interestingly, the chopper-powered C-sets, introduced in 1986 with a similar external design but very different tractive equipment, were originally targeted as K-sets and worked with this class, although the two were separated by 1990. During the 43 years since their introduction, the class have operated all over the electrified network. Nearly. This includes peak hour services to Port Kembla and Wyong via the North Shore, until replaced by Tangaras in 1994, stopping trains from Morisset to Newcastle, some of these in 2-car formation, until the late noughties, and all over suburban Sydney, from Carlingford and Olympic Park to Penrith, Barara, Macarthur and the Epping to Chatswood rail link, one of only 2 classes of train being able to run there originally. Nowadays, the class is mostly restricted to Sector 2 runs, covering the Airport and East Hills, Inner West, South and Bankstown lines. Barring some runs to Springwood, which ended in the noughties, the class rarely touched the Blue Mountains line, making the Silver to the Summit tour quite unique. The K-sets are now 40 years of age and approaching replacement, which will come in the form of Oscar H sets, such as the one on the top right, when these are cascaded to suburban workings by the new intercity fleet Mariyung trains. And speak of the devil, here's one now!